Hello, and welcome to Read Aloud with an Intervention Specialist, and I'm Christina, your Intervention Specialist. Today, we're going to read a little bit of a different kind of book than what I usually read. This is historical fiction. It's based on facts and real-life events, but it has a little bit of extra things put in there that may not be exactly the truth. That's why it's called historical fiction. I really enjoy historical fiction. This one is called 21 Elephants and Still Standing, written by April Jones Prince. And not only are the pictures great in this book, but it is a really good event that happened in the 1800s that is marvelous and could still happen today. Okay? I also want to show that I got it, actually is blue, it was on sale, and I got it for 50 cents at Goodwill. All right. For 14 years, they'd watch it rise. The city's school teachers, bankers, cabinet makers, pointing and gawking, oohing and awing, cheering as the great pillars grew. Then came woven steel cables, strung gracefully and strong, like stairways straight to the stars. Taller and longer, bigger and broader, a bridge of infinite dreams. New York and Brooklyn, dwarfed by its arches, knew the future had entered their sights. Amazing, worth the waiting. It was simply breathtaking. The eighth wonder of the world. Some wondered how long it would stand. When the day finally came and the Brooklyn Bridge opened, the landmark was given its due. Flags waved, bands played, kids hurrayed, before bigwigs and the tophats galore. At night there were fireworks, skyrockets of light that rained for an hour from the tops of the towers to the roar of the crowds down below. Packed on sailboats and steamers, amidst bright-colored streamers, people partied until the sun rose. For the two sister cities, there was special excitement. They were linked by a magnificent bond. Now over the river, not on its swift current, they could visit, do business, see sights. Sweethearts could take moonlight strolls. The bridge was exquisite, a true work of art, the greatest feat of its day. But so long and so lofty, its cables so new, some had to ask, is it safe? To these double-ridden few, friends sang the thing's virtues, the arches, the trestle work, the view. Still, some could not be persuaded. Similar bridges had fallen. Who wants to bargain? This bridge won't dance to the wind. One man heard this. P.T. Barnum. For P.T. Barnum saw in the doubt an opportunity, always looked on the bright side. P.T. Barnum was larger than life, the world-famous showman's most awesome creation, the greatest show on earth. Yet Barnum's ideas weren't contained by a tent. I will stage an event that will calm every fear, erase every worry about the remarkable bridge. My display will amuse, inform, and astound, or else my name isn't Barnum. So one evening in May 1884, the circus headed for Brooklyn. It traveled by water, except for old Barnum's most massive, most gallant attractions. Up Broadway they sauntered. Up Broadway they sauntered, trainers in charges, enchanting more than a few. Onlookers went wild and filed behind, beguiled by the pachyderm procession. For the public prized elephants, especially Jumbo, pride of the circus ring. With his height of 12 feet and good-natured beast, was America's oversized darling. On the group marched past City Hall, past mothers, fathers, and children. Then the bridge straight ahead, the spectacle mounting, and the giant's first steps on the roadway. One after another, the elephants pressed onward, silently trusting the wood planks and steel. 5, 6, then 7 were crossing. 10, 11, and still there were more. Some onlookers oogled, some giggled with glee, some questioned companions or strangers. How many pounds can that wondrous bridge hold? How many elephants are too great a load? Swaying and rumbling, still they were coming, the parade of elephant bulk. At the end of the line came Jumbo himself, for 21 elephants in all. The 7-ton star seemed to waggle his ears in reply to admirers' cheers. And though the bridge stretched a mile, in just a short while, and much to the people's delight, the elephants had crossed, with the bridge still aloft. Barnum pronounced the thing sound. In the following days, some doubters strolled the greatest bridge on earth. What else did they do, once they savored the view? Why, they went to the big top, of course. In the back here is an author's note, and I'd like to read that to you because I feel like it has a lot of information in here that is worth reading. Author's note. When I first learned of the event described in this book, I could hardly believe it was true. Had P.T. Barnum really trusted the extraordinary, but also newly completed Brooklyn Bridge with some of his most valuable and beloved attractions? Determined to find out everything I could, I traveled to museums and libraries, scrolled through old newspapers, viewed documentaries, scoured books old and new, and called upon experts. I learned a great deal, including the fact that I could not learn it all. Because of gaps in the historical record, I couldn't determine, for example, whether Barnum crossed the bridge with his elephants that night, or whether he met them in Brooklyn. In the end, I chose to include him in the crossing because he was certainly there in spirit. The idea was his, the elephants were his, and the stunt accomplished his goals of causing a stir and linking his name with that of the magnificent bridge. For all the pieces of the puzzle I couldn't solve, I turned up a wealth of other information that helped me understand the elephants crossing. I discovered that elephants have been used to demonstrate the strengths of bridges, not only because of the animal's great weight, each weighing about 10,000 pounds, but also because they are known to test surfaces with their trunks or front feet to keep them from crossing unsafe structures. I found that P.T. Barnum was a pioneer of modern advertising and popular entertainment. He was world famous for his world curiosities and amusements, and for this even wilder promotion of them. I learned about the can-do spirit of the late 19th century, about bridges and bridge building, and about the remarkable Roebling family who designed and built the Brooklyn Bridge. If you are interested in any of these topics, you might enjoy these books and websites. So she put in all these places where she found all this information. So she also stated down here, a generous assistance to the author would like to thank Susan April, archivist of the Brooklyn collections at the Brooklyn Public Library, Kathleen Mayer, curator of the Barnum Museum, Joseph Mahoney, supervisor of mammals in the Wildlife Conservation Society at the Bronx Zoo, Melanie Bauer, collections access assistants in the Museum of the City of New York, and Mary Wichkowski, his city historian of the historical collection of the Bridgeport Public Library. That's what people do when they need to write a great book that is based on historical fiction. Right there. I hope you have enjoyed reading with me today, and I hope that you've learned what historical fiction is. Thank you, and have a great day, and continue to read.